Welcome, dreamer, to Get Sleepy Scientist. Tonight, as you close your eyes and allow your mind to drift, let us take a gentle journey through the night sky. We will listen not to noise or restless thoughts, but to the quiet whispers of the stars themselves. Each star above us is a keeper of stories, a guardian of secrets. And tonight, they share them with us one by one, softly, like lullabies. Imagine yourself lying beneath a wide open sky, far from the busy lights of cities. The air is cool, calm, and still. You gaze upward, and the universe reveals itself in countless shining points. These stars, distant and eternal, stretch endlessly across the darkness. Their light has traveled through oceans of time just to meet your eyes tonight. In this moment, you are not just looking at stars. You are looking at memories, fragments of history carried by beams of light. The first whisper reaches you as softly as a breath. Every star you see is a sun. They are not tiny pinpricks, though from here they appear so small. Each one is vast, radiating warmth and power in its own corner of the universe. Some of them are greater than you could ever imagine, thousands of times larger than our sun, burning with endless energy. Others are smaller, quiet dwarfs, glowing faintly but faithfully, holding their place in the cosmic sea. As you drift deeper into this starry night, another whisper reaches you. The light of the stars is old. By the time it touches Earth, it has traveled for years, even centuries, and in some cases, thousands of years. You might be gazing at a star that no longer exists, yet its final light still journeys onward, carrying the last message of its existence to you. In this way, stars are both alive in the present and alive in memory, speaking to us from the depths of time. The closest star to us is the Sun, our faithful companion, just 93 million miles away. It feels so near compared to the others, yet it is still unimaginably far. Beyond the Sun, all the other stars are separated from us by oceans of space. Even the nearest of them, Proxima Centauri, is so distant that its light takes more than 4 years to reach us. When you look at the stars tonight, you are peeking across light years, stretching your imagination across the fabric of the cosmos. The twinkling of starlight is not the stars themselves flickering, but the air around us. As starlight enters Earth's atmosphere, it bends and shifts, making the stars seem to dance gently in the darkness. They wink at us, as if reminding us not to forget them. It is a kind of cosmic playfulness, a sparkle of connection between the heavens and Earth. And now the stars tell us about their birth. Stars are not eternal. They begin their lives in quiet nurseries called nebulae, clouds of dust and gas spread across the galaxy. Within these clouds, gravity slowly gathers the material, pulling it closer and closer until at last a spark is lit, and a new star is born. These newborn stars glow faintly at first, wrapped in the remnants of the clouds that created them, like babies swaddled in cosmic blankets. Over time, they shine brighter, announcing their arrival to the universe. The Orion Nebula, hanging in the sword of the constellation Orion, is one such nursery. If you look closely on a clear night, you might see it as a faint smudge. Through a telescope, however, you are gazing at a place where stars are being born right now. It is as if the universe itself breathes life, creating light where once there was only dust. The stars reveal that their colors are more than decoration. They are signs of temperature, The hottest stars burn blue, fierce and powerful, glowing with a light that seems almost electric. Cooler stars glow red, soft and steady, like embers left behind in a fire. Between them are yellow stars like our sun, not too hot, not too cold, but warm and balanced, perfectly suited for nurturing the fragile gift of life. Stars live for vast stretches of time, yet even they have lifespans. Small stars, faint and steady, can glow for trillions of years, far longer than our own sun will live. Giant stars, burning with immense brightness, live much shorter lives, sometimes only a few million years before their light fades. The universe is filled with both these quiet elders and these brilliant but fleeting giants, each adding their own voice to the cosmic song. When the largest stars reach the end of their lives, they do not simply fade. They go out in extraordinary fashion, in explosions called supernovae. These are among the most powerful events in the universe, scattering material across space. Out of such endings, new beginnings emerge. The iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, the calcium in your bones. All of it was forged in stars that once lived, died, and shared their remains with the cosmos. You, dreamer, are made of stardust. The universe is not something apart from you. It is within you. The Milky Way, our galaxy, holds more than 100 billion stars, and beyond it are countless more galaxies, each with their own starry realms. When you look up at the sky, you are not just seeing the stars of our home, but hints of others too, scattered across unimaginable distances. The soft glow of the Milky Way stretching across the sky is the combined light of millions of stars blending together into a silver river. Long ago, before city lights and electricity, people would gaze at this glowing band in awe, weaving myths and stories about its meaning. Even now, when you look at it, you are connected to the same wonder our ancestors felt thousands of years ago. Some stars do not shine alone. They live in pairs, circling one another in a gentle dance of gravity. These binary stars rise and set together, two suns painting the sky with double light. Imagine standing on a planet under such a sky. Two golden dawns rising in harmony. Two sunsets pouring warmth over the horizon, a scene of endless beauty. Other stars prefer company in larger groups, bound together into clusters. Some are young and filled with hot blue stars burning fiercely. Others are ancient, filled with stars that are older than our galaxy itself. One of the most famous clusters is the Pleiades, also called the Seven Sisters. Across cultures, people have told stories of these sisters traveling together, guiding travelers and inspiring dreamers. Their shimmer a reminder of companionship and family. Stars themselves create vibrations, rippling across their surfaces like waves upon a pond. These vibrations travel through space, carrying with them patterns that can be turned into sound. Though we cannot hear them with our ears, scientists have translated these ripples, and in doing so, have found that stars sing. Their songs are deep, resonant, and endless, echoing across time. Some stars pulse gently, growing brighter and dimmer in steady rhythm. They are like cosmic heartbeats keeping time for the universe. To watch such a star is to feel the passage of time in the language of light. The North Star, Polaris, shines above the northern horizon, fixed almost perfectly in place. For centuries it has guided travelers, a reliable beacon in the sky. Sailors have trusted it, wanderers have followed it, and even now it remains a quiet companion, always pointing the way home. Every star you see has a story of its own. Some began shining long before Earth even formed. Others may have only recently been born, their light just beginning to reach us. On the darkest nights, far from human lights, you may see as many as 2,500 stars with the naked eye. And yet this is still only a drop in the great ocean of stars that exist. Among them are tiny red dwarfs, faint and almost invisible without a telescope. Yet they are the most common stars in the galaxy, quiet, persistent, and numerous. They hold together the framework of the universe, even though most will never be seen by human eyes. On the other end of the scale are giants like Scuti, the largest star known. If placed where our sun stands, its surface would stretch far beyond the orbit of Jupiter. Imagine such a star rising over a horizon, vast and magnificent, dwarfing everything in sight. It is humbling to know that such colossi exist, burning silently in their corners of space. As you lie here listening, remember this final whisper for tonight. For as long as humans have lived, we have looked at the stars. They have been our guides, our storytellers, our companions in both wonder and mystery. They remind us that the universe is vast, that life is fragile, and that beauty is eternal. They whisper to us across the night sky, asking us only to pause, to breathe, and to listen. Now let these whispers linger. The first 25 secrets of the stars are yours to keep, gentle and timeless. Drift into sleep knowing that above you, the universe continues its quiet glow, vast, infinite, and endlessly patient. Imagine yourself once more lying beneath that endless canvas of black velvet. The stars above are not only lights, but companions. Their presence is constant, though they are separated from us by unimaginable distances. Tonight they will speak to you again, not in shouts, but in murmurs, the kind of words that feel like dreams as they glide through your mind. The whispers begin with a reminder that stars, though they seem eternal, are not unchanging. They shift, they evolve, and they move. The stars you see in constellations are not fixed in place forever. Over thousands and millions of years, their positions drift. The familiar shapes we know, Orion, the Big Dipper, the Southern Cross, are temporary drawings in the sky. Someday, far in the future, they will no longer look the same. And yet to those of us alive today, they feel timeless. Another whisper tells us that stars are always in motion, just like planets. They orbit around the center of the Milky Way, traveling in immense paths that take hundreds of millions of years to complete. The stars may look still, frozen in the night sky, but they are on journeys of their own, circling through the galaxy at great speeds. It is only their great distance that makes them appear still to our eyes. The stars remind us that even the empty darkness between them is not truly empty. There are gases and clouds, faint and invisible to our eyes, that stretch through the galaxy. Within these quiet spaces, stars are born, live and die. The universe is never motionless, never silent. Even in its quietest corners, creation continues. Now they whisper of giants that shine with such brightness, they can be seen across incredible distances. These are stars called supergiants, enormous and powerful, burning with a fury that cannot last forever. Their glow reaches across the galaxy, their presence impossible to ignore. They are like bonfires in the night, short-lived but breathtaking. In contrast, there are stars that glow so faintly they are almost invisible. Some stars, when their lives come to an end, shrink down into tiny, dense remnants called white dwarfs. They no longer burn with the same fire they once had, but still, they shine faintly for billions of years, cooling ever so slowly, like fading embers in a fireplace. The stars also whisper of companions that are more mysterious. There are stars so massive that when they collapse, they create black holes. These black holes do not let even light escape their grasp, and yet they are born from the death of stars. In this way, the stars remind us that endings and beginnings are woven together, always part of the same cosmic cycle. Other endings are quieter. Some stars collapse into neutron stars, unimaginably dense, with the mass of the sun squeezed into a sphere no wider than a city. These remnants spin rapidly, sometimes sending out beams of energy that sweep across the universe like cosmic lighthouses. To lie beneath the stars and imagine such objects is to realize how mysterious and strange the universe can be. A softer whisper tells us that our own sun is special to us, but ordinary to the galaxy. Billions of stars like it shine across the Milky Way. Yet without it, there would be no Earth as we know it, no oceans, no forests, no living beings to gaze up at the night sky. The sun may be just one star among many, but to us, it is the giver of life, the warmth that sustains our every breath. The stars remind us of exoplanets, worlds that orbit around distant suns. For a long time, humans wondered if such planets existed, and now we know there are billions of them. Some may be rocky like Earth, others gaseous like Jupiter. Some may even carry oceans, mountains, and skies of their own. To imagine standing on one of these planets, looking up at an alien star, is to dream of horizons that stretch far beyond Earth. They whisper of variable stars, which grow brighter and dimmer as time passes. To those who study them, these stars are not only beautiful, but useful. Their rhythm allows us to measure distances across the galaxy, to understand just how far the stars stretch from one another. Their steady pulses are like heartbeats, keeping cosmic time across the ages. The stars tell us of novas, sudden bursts of light when a star flares brighter than usual. These events are like cosmic flickers, reminders that even stars can surprise us. Even stars can change their voices in the dark. Then they speak of globular clusters, dense spheres of stars gathered tightly together. Within these clusters are some of the oldest stars in the universe, their light carrying the history of galaxies that existed long before our sun was born. To look upon one of these clusters through a telescope is to gaze back into deep time, into the memories of the cosmos itself. There is another whisper about the way stars affect life on Earth. For thousands of years, humans have turned to them as guides, as calendars, as markers of seasons. Farmers planted crops by their rising and setting. Sailors steered ships by their steady glow. Stories were told about them, gods and heroes written among the constellations. The stars have always been more than distant suns. They have been companions, shaping the lives of those who look up to them. The stars tell us that even in the daytime, they are still there. The blue of the sky hides them, But above the brightness of day, countless stars are still shining. Invisible to our eyes, they wait patiently for the night to return, when they can once again reveal themselves. Now they whisper of red giants, stars that have grown old and swollen, glowing with a deep, gentle light. Our sun, too, will one day become such a star, expanding until it engulfs the inner planets. For billions of years it has given us warmth, and in the far future it will end its life in a slow, quiet transformation into something vast and red, before shrinking down to a faint white dwarf. Even the life of a star is filled with change. Some stars travel through the galaxy at extraordinary speeds. These runaway stars are flung across space, moving faster than most others, cast out from their clusters or catapulted by the pull of black holes. They wander alone, carrying their light into new regions of the galaxy. The stars remind us that many of the constellations we know are shared across cultures. The hunter Orion, the swan Cygnus, the lion Leo. These patterns have been recognized by people across the world for thousands of years. Different cultures gave them different names and stories, yet the same stars connected them all. Across time and distance, humans have always looked up and seen family, myth, and wonder in the sky. The whispers now turn to the idea of light years. A light year is not time, but distance. It is the span of space that light travels in 1 year, nearly 6 trillion miles. The closest stars beyond the sun are just a few light years away, but many are hundreds, thousands, or millions of light years distant. When you look at them, you are looking back in time, seeing them not as they are now, but as they once were. They whisper of galaxies beyond our own, each containing billions of stars. And they remind you that many of the stars you see at night are not stars at all, but entire galaxies whose combined light reaches your eyes as a single faint glow. To realize this is to understand how immense the universe truly is. There is another quiet secret. Some stars have planets that orbit in what is called the habitable zone, where conditions may allow liquid water to exist. These planets could be homes for life, perhaps even beings who, like us, look up at their skies and wonder if someone is out there, listening. The stars tell us that while they seem far away, they are connected to us in ways both physical and spiritual. The atoms in our bodies, the air we breathe, the food we eat, all trace back to them. We are not separate from the stars. We are part of them, and they are part of us. And as the whispers grow softer, they remind you of one more truth. For all the science, for all the knowledge we gain, there will always remain mystery. There will always be questions yet to be answered, horizons yet to be crossed. The stars are not only our teachers, but our endless questions, inviting us to wonder, to dream, and to keep searching. They whisper first of the birth of clusters. Not all stars are born alone. Many are born together, siblings formed from the same swirling clouds of dust and gas. These stellar siblings travel together for millions of years before slowly drifting apart. If you could look closely at such clusters, you would see groups of stars shining brightly, bound together like families in the vastness of space. Another whisper tells of constellations that rise and fall with the seasons. In the summer, one set of stars dominates the night. In the winter, another takes their place. These shifting skies have always guided humanity, marking time, helping people know when to plant, when to harvest, when to travel, and when to stay home. The stars are not only ornaments of the night, but clocks and calendars written into the heavens. The stars also remind us that some of their number hide companions too small for our eyes. Brown dwarfs, sometimes called failed stars, do not have enough mass to shine brightly like their siblings. They glow faintly, giving off only heat instead of brilliant light. Invisible to most stargazers, they drift quietly, filling the galaxy with their subdued presence. The whispers turn to the idea of eclipses. When the path of a planet or a moon crosses before a star, the star's light may dim for a moment. To us, such events are rare, but in the vast universe, eclipses are happening all the time. They are the natural shadows of celestial beings crossing paths. A gentle reminder that even light sometimes yields to darkness. Now they tell us of double suns, systems where planets orbit not one star, but two. Imagine standing on such a world, watching two suns climb above the horizon, their twin light blending to bathe the land in colors far beyond what we know on Earth. At sunset, one sun might sink below the horizon while the other lingers, keeping twilight alive a little longer. Such worlds exist, their skies forever kissed by double dawns and double dusks. The stars remind us that they are not silent. Some send out bursts of radiation and energy, sudden flares that leap into space like sparks. These flares can reach across billions of miles, carrying both power and mystery. To us, they are invisible, but to the stars, they are voices, brief shouts in the quiet of the universe. They whisper also of magnetars, stars with magnetic fields so strong they defy comprehension. If you could stand near one, its magnetism would tear atoms apart. Yet these strange stars exist, proof that the universe contains extremes beyond anything our minds can fully grasp. The stars tell of light that bends. When a massive star or galaxy lies between us and something more distant, its gravity bends the light of the background object, like a lens in space. This effect, called gravitational lensing, allows us to see galaxies far beyond what would normally be visible. In this way, stars and galaxies help us peer deeper into the universe, guiding our eyes to places otherwise hidden. Another whisper brings us to Cepheid variables, stars whose steady brightening and dimming allows astronomers to measure vast distances. These stars are like cosmic mile markers, helping us map the size of the universe itself. Imagine them as friendly lanterns along a dark road, shining rhythmically to guide travelers onward. The stars remind us of supernova remnants, the scattered shells of once mighty suns. After an explosion, glowing clouds of gas expand outward, painting space with colors and patterns. These remnants are both tombstones and cradles, the end of one star's life and the beginning of countless others. From their ashes, new stars and planets can one day form. Now the whispers turn to pulsars, the remnants of collapsed stars that spin rapidly, sending beams of light and energy across the cosmos. As they turn, their beams flash like lighthouses, blinking in perfect rhythm. To us, they appear as steady, pulsing signals, marking time with astonishing precision. Some are so accurate they rival the best clocks ever built by humans. The stars tell us that galaxies themselves are like cities of stars, filled with billions, even trillions, of suns. Each galaxy is different, some spiral and elegant, some irregular and scattered. From afar, galaxies themselves seem like stars, faint glimmers of light, yet each one contains entire realms of life and possibility. They whisper of collisions too. Galaxies are not fixed in place forever. They drift toward each other, and when they meet, their stars swirl together in great dances of creation and destruction. One day, billions of years from now, our own Milky Way will merge with the Andromeda Galaxy, creating a new, even larger home of stars. To us, this seems like the far future, but to the stars, it is simply the next chapter. The whispers grow softer now, speaking of the beauty of colors in the night sky. Though stars appear white to us, their light is woven with rainbows. Each star has its own fingerprint of color, hidden within its glow. Through prisms and telescopes, astronomers can read these fingerprints, learning what stars are made of, how hot they are, and how far they have traveled. The stars remind us that they are storytellers in every culture. Some civilizations saw hunters and animals among them. Others saw gods, heroes, and myths. The patterns were different, but the meaning was always the same. The stars gave people something to hold on to, a way to connect their lives to the infinite. Now the stars whisper of star nurseries beyond our galaxy, great clouds of gas where thousands of suns are born at once. These nurseries glow softly, lit from within by the young stars beginning their lives. If you could fly among them, you would see a sky painted in colors of pink and blue and gold, endless fields of new light. The stars tell of quasars, distant objects powered by black holes at the hearts of young galaxies. They shine brighter than entire galaxies themselves, their light reaching us from billions of years in the past. To see a quasar is to see the universe as it was when it was young, full of energy and light. The whispers return to our own sun for a moment. Though it is ordinary among stars, it has its own flares, storms, and cycles. Sometimes it grows more active, sending out bursts of particles that dance with Earth's magnetic field, creating auroras. These northern and southern lights are gifts from the sun, gentle reminders of our connection to the cosmos. The stars remind us too of silence. In the vacuum of space, there is no air to carry sound. The stars burn quietly, their voices carried only in light and vibration. Yet, through our instruments, we have found ways to listen to them. In their silence, we hear song. They whisper of rogue planets, worlds that wander without stars, drifting alone through the darkness. These planets are homes without suns, forever traveling through the night. And still, even they are part of the universe's story, moving quietly beneath the watchful stars. Now the whispers soften again, speaking of the faint light of distant galaxies, the glow that reaches us after billions of years. That light began its journey long before Earth was born, long before humans ever existed. To see it is to touch something ancient, something eternal. The stars close this night's whispers with a final reminder. They are not only distant fires, not only glowing suns, but bridges. They connect the past to the present, the near to the far, the known to the unknown. They shine to remind us that wonder has no end. The first whisper tonight reminds us that stars can live unimaginably long lives. Some burn quickly, bright and fierce, lasting only millions of years. Others are smaller, gentler, and can glow for trillions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe itself. These stars are like eternal lanterns, keeping their light alive long after others have faded. The next whisper tells us of globular clusters, great spheres of stars bound together by gravity. Some clusters contain hundreds of thousands of stars, all orbiting a shared center. To stand inside one would mean a night sky so bright, so full of suns, that darkness itself would vanish. The stars speak now of white dwarfs, the quiet remnants of stars like our sun. When a star uses up its fuel, it sheds its outer layers and leaves behind a dense, glowing ember. A white dwarf no longer burns, but it shines faintly, a last soft breath of light, before fading into eternal stillness. Another whisper drifts in, carrying tales of neutron stars. These remnants are so dense that a teaspoon of their matter would weigh as much as a mountain. They are strange and silent, yet within them lies the memory of stars that once blazed across the heavens. The stars remind us that even black holes, often feared for their mystery, are part of their family. A black hole is not an ending, but a transformation, the collapse of a star into a point where even light cannot escape. Yet around them swirl galaxies, nebulae, and jets of energy, proving that even in silence, there can be creation. They whisper of cosmic rays, tiny particles born in distant stars that travel across the universe until they strike Earth. Most pass unnoticed, but every moment, some reach you, carrying with them the faintest touch of starlight from places far beyond your sight. Now they tell of binary star systems, where two stars orbit one another like dancers locked in an endless waltz. Some pairs are calm, moving gracefully. Others are dramatic, stealing matter from one another, flaring and dimming in their endless embrace. The whispers turn to dark matter, that unseen presence that outweighs all the visible stars. Though it cannot be seen, its gravity holds galaxies together, shaping the universe in silence. Like an invisible thread, it binds the stars in patterns we are only beginning to understand. They speak also of dark energy, a force even more mysterious. It pushes galaxies apart, stretching the fabric of space itself. The stars whisper that the universe is not static but alive, forever expanding, forever changing, guided by this quiet, unseen hand. Now they remind us of cosmic background radiation, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang. This ancient light fills the universe, a soft echo from the moment creation itself began. To hear it is to listen to the universe's first whisper, still ringing through the endless night. The stars tell us of exoplanets, worlds orbiting other suns. Thousands have been found, some rocky like Earth, some giant and gaseous, others stranger still. Each one is a possibility, a dream of what other skies, other oceans, and other lives might be. They whisper of habitable zones, those narrow bands around stars where conditions might allow water to flow, where life could take root. Not every planet falls into this golden place, but those that do carry the hope of future discovery, of neighbors we have not yet met. The stars turn to galaxies once again, reminding us of the sheer numbers. There are not thousands, not millions, but billions upon billions of galaxies, each with its own stars, its own planets, its own mysteries. To look upon them is to realize that the universe is far larger than any dream. Another whisper tells us of spiral galaxies like our Milky Way. their arms curling outward in graceful patterns. Others are elliptical, smooth and ancient. Still others are irregular, shaped by collisions and chance. Each one is unique, a fingerprint of creation spread across the cosmos. The stars tell of cosmic voids, vast regions of space nearly empty of galaxies. These dark expanses stretch across unimaginable distances, like the quiet spaces between notes in a song. They are reminders that emptiness too has its place in the universe. Now they whisper of starbursts, times when galaxies suddenly create stars at an extraordinary pace. For a brief span, millions of stars ignite, lighting their galaxies with new brilliance. These bursts are like fireworks, rare and fleeting, yet unforgettable. They remind us that not all light we see today is new. Some starlight has traveled billions of years to reach our eyes. When we gaze at the night sky, we are looking back in time, seeing stars as they were long ago. Their light a message carried across eternity. The stars whisper too of time itself. For them, it flows differently. They measure not in years or centuries, but in ages and eons. To a star, a human life is but the blink of an eye. Yet to us, their steady glow feels eternal. They speak of comets, icy travelers that journey from the far edges of solar systems. When they near a star, they grow bright tails, shimmering across the sky like messengers of the deep. These comets have visited Earth since the beginning, silent witnesses to all of history. Now the stars turn to asteroids, rocky fragments left over from the creation of planets. Some drift harmlessly, others collide, shaping worlds with their impacts. Even in their silence, they have the power to change history in an instant. They whisper of the Oort cloud, a distant sphere of icy bodies surrounding our solar system. It is like a shell of frozen fragments, stretching so far that no spacecraft has yet reached it. From here, some comets are born, beginning their long journeys inward toward the sun. The stars remind us of the Milky Way itself, our home galaxy. From Earth, it appears as a faint band across the night sky, but in truth, it is a vast spiral filled with billions of stars. To know that we live within such a grand creation is to feel both small and infinite at once. Now they speak of the edge of the universe, a horizon beyond which light has not yet reached us. We cannot see beyond it, but we know it grows each moment, expanding faster and faster. The stars whisper that the universe is not just vast, but boundless, without end. And finally, the last whisper comes. The stars tell us that though they are far away, they are also within us. The iron in our blood, the calcium in our bones, the oxygen we breathe. These were all born in stars long ago. When those stars ended their lives, they scattered their elements into space, and from those remnants, Earth was formed, and we were formed. We are, in every way, children of the stars. So tonight, as you close your eyes, remember, you are not apart from the cosmos. You are a part of it, forever connected, forever glowing with the same light that burns in the heavens. And with that, the 100 whispers are complete. But the stars will always have more to say, more to share, for those who choose to listen. Good night, dreamer. May the universe cradle you gently until the morning comes.